Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time, feel the pain, live the grind, I could change, in my mind, pick a lane, commit and climb, the only way to win it life. I never miss, that's fact, taking big swings, bitch, hand me the bat, put me in the ring, you'll go out in a bag, cause I sing what I mean and I bring it to the mad light. Ain't got time to kill, I got time to feel, I took the red pill, I know life's short so I wanna live real, but how's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel? They wanna sing my name, but they holding back. They wanna say they hate, but they know it's cap. I ain't play no games, I just do that's fact. And I don't feel no shame, it's a mood you lack. I go crazy, nah bitch I ain't lazy. Track after track, I work on this shit daily. Pass me the jack, right as fuel, got me hazy. About to unpack all these things I've been chasing. I've got visions in my head, like memories after death. To be a legend instead of something you can forget. I'm living up every breath, I'd rather leave than be led. I'll fill the seats as I spread with every word that I've said. How's it supposed to feel? How's it supposed to feel?
Hey guys, how you going? Okay, I'm here without headphones. I've got my speakers on really low, so hopefully you don't hear an echo. And no makeup, I'm just here. Okay, Pop Bass said Pope Francis' cause of death has been revealed as a stroke, which led to a coma followed by heart failure. So the Pope has passed away. Apparently he had a stroke, followed by heart failure, a coma, and heart failure. So there you go. I know a lot of people have a lot to say about that, I'm sure. Okay, Donald J. Trump posts from his Truth Social. Melania and I will be going to the funeral of Pope Francis in Rome. We look forward to being there. From Donald Trump, Truth Social. We gathered that. Okay, is my mic working all right? Can you hear me okay? You tried to put the link in the comments 3 times, but YouTube wouldn't let you. Lucette. Okay, hang on. Give me a sec. What about if I mod you? You'll be able to put it in then. Add as a mod. There we go. See if that works, Lucette. You should be able to put it in now. In the chat, if you want to. Okay. Insurrection Barbie said the New York Times decided to drop a story on Easter Sunday about yet another Signal chat, except this one is with Pete Hegseth's wife and his 2 brothers, who are also Pentagon employees. This story is, of course, based on 4 anonymous sources and is once again about the strike in Yemen that went off without a hitch. It begs the question, are these people demented or just really evil? Well, I don't know what's going on there, but Okay, it looks like the Dems trying to still go at the Trump admin, of course. When are they not going at them? It's a really disappointing piece of footage. You should be able to put it in now. You've got a little wrench, Lucette. Doge said, reminder, Biden administration spent, listen to this, $8,290,053 on gender-related experiments on mice. For God's sake, can they not leave mice alone? Mice and dogs, actually. You can leave dogs alone as well. What the hell? Fact, under the Biden administration, the National Institutes of Health doled out millions of dollars in taxpayer-funded grants for institutions across the country to perform transgender experiments on mice. $455,000 for a mouse model to test the effects of gender-affirming hormone therapy on HIV vaccine-induced immune responses. Hello. $2,500,000 on reproductive consequences of steroid hormone administration. These mice manifest defects in ovarian architecture and have altered, folliculogenesis? Follicles? I don't know. I've got no idea. $299,940 on gender-affirming testosterone therapy on breast cancer risk and treatment outcomes. We will compare the incidence and tumour-specific survival in female mice, intact and oophorectomized female mice receiving TT with their respective counterparts that do not receive TT, testosterone therapy. $735,000, close enough. Microbiome meditated effects of gender-affirming hormone therapy in mice. $1,200,000 androgen effects on the reproductive neuroendocrine axis. Aim to utilizes transgenic mice to test whether male-level androgens acting via AR specifically in kisspeptin neurons are necessary and or sufficient for oh my God, they're insane. $3,100,000 on gondol hormones as mediators of sex and gender influences in asthma. They're insane. There you go. Lusette's put the link in there from yesterday. Anyway, how you going, Sherry, Lucette, and Raven? How you going? Good to see you guys. Vatican News, the Pope's died. He was 88. He died on Easter Monday, April the 21st, at 88, in his residence at the Vatican's Casa Santa Marta. That's with an Aussie accent. I don't know how to speak Italian. Mario Norful said China's new bomb is small, clean, and terrifyingly hot. Chinese scientists just detonated a magnesium hydride-based bomb that generated a fireball 15 times longer than TNT without using a single atom of uranium. The tech, a white crystal powder originally meant for clean energy and spaceship fuel. Now it's being weaponized for heat projection, area saturation, and uniform destruction of targets across vast areas. The first test bomb was just 2 kilograms. It hit over 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit and held the fireball for a full 2 seconds. Production's already scaling 150 tonnes per year coming out of a new factory in Shaanxi. So no, this isn't staying in the lab. No nuclear material, no treaty violation, and so far no media panic. US and China talking peace in Shanghai while war games play near Taiwan. Well, yes, oh dear. War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Okay, anyway, it's good for them at the top. Okay, what have we got? US-Chinese military officials met in Shanghai this week to cool down unsafe and unprofessional encounters at sea and in the air. The talks held under the part of a semi-annual military maritime consultative agreement, followed a spike in near-miss encounters between US and Chinese forces in contested waters. Meanwhile, China just wrapped live-fire drills around Taiwan because nothing says let's talk like a war game warm-up. Diplomacy at the table, sabre-rattling offshore. Source, Reuters. Don't worry, Trump's got this. Watcher Guru said just in, China threatens to retaliate against nations siding with the United States on trade. Okay, which one was sooner, before? Oh, hang on, I've missed one. This one was 20 hours ago. So was this. Okay. BRICS News said just in, Ford halts shipments of vehicles to China in response to tariffs. Sorry, this is getting funny. Kind of funny anyway. How you going, Shannon? Laura Loomis said Meha Bitar, the radical Palestinian Muslim with sympathy for Hamas and ties to students for justice in Palestine, still has his security clearance under the Trump admin. Is it Ma Bitar? A terror-tied Palestinian Muslim was appointed by Joe Biden to the position of Senior Director for Intelligence at the National Security Council. Mike Walls, 47. Ma still has his security clearance, as I reported in 2021. Bitar has a long history of terror associations dating back to his time in college at Georgetown, where he was on the executive board of the school's chapter of Students for Justice in Palestine, which has documented ties to Islamic terrorist organisations, including Hamas, Hezbollah, Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and the Marxist Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine, PFLP. SJP has spent decades pretending to be innocent, an innocent grassroots pro-Palestinian group, but instead it's a group that's dedicated to the destruction of Israel with a history of inviting convicted terrorists to speak at their meetings and conventions. Additionally, SJP is the largest anti-Israel campus group in the country, and numerous congressional testimonies show dangerously close ties between SJP and Islamic terrorists. SJP was co-founded at UC Berkeley by Hatem Bizian. In 2000, Bizian is an anti-American, anti-Jewish activist who's called for the killing of Jews and the destruction of Israel. Bitar happily served on the executive board of SJP. Bitar also served as top legal advisor to Rep. Adam Schiff from California and was the general counsel to House Intelligence Committee Democrats during the Democrats' first round in impeaching President Trump. In 2007, Bitar interned with the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, UNRWA, which provides services to Palestinian refugees. UNRWA, on multiple occasions, has been criticised by members of Congress for working with Hamas, a designated Islamic terrorist organisation with a mission statement focused on eradicating Israel and murdering Jewish people. Due to its anti-Israel bias and terrorist ties, the Trump administration cut US aid to UNRWA in 2018. Bitar also worked in the Obama-Biden admin, where he served in the National Security Council as its Director for Israeli and Palestinian Affairs. This is Ma Bitar in the middle with the pro-BDS sign. It's time for the Trump admin to strip Ma Bitar of his security clearance and publicly shame him for his radical Islamist associations. And here he is in the middle. Okay. I don't know. I think Laura Loomer's good at digging on people. Oh, it's starting to look that way. But, you know, Trump has a plan. He knows what he's doing. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there. Donald J. Trump posts from his Truth Social again. Happy Easter to all, including the radical left lunatics who are fighting and scheming so hard to bring murderers, drug lords, dangerous prisoners, the mentally insane, and well-known MS-13 gang members and wife-beaters back to our country. Happy Easter also to the weak and ineffective judges and law enforcement officials who are allowing this sinister attack on our nation to continue. An attack so violent that it will never be forgotten. Sleepy Joe Biden purposefully allowed millions of criminals to enter our country, totally unvetted and unchecked, through an open borders policy that will go down in history as the single most calamitous act ever perpetrated upon America. He was by far our worst and most incompetent president, a man who had absolutely no idea what he was doing. But to him and to the person that ran the manipulated the auto pen, perhaps our real president, and to all the people who cheated in the 2020 presidential election in order to get this highly destructive moron elected, I wish you, with great love, sincerity, and affection, a very happy Easter. From Donald Trump. Oh, I like that one. That was a good one. Oh, how you going, Deb J? I snuck on a bit late this morning, so that's probably why there's not many people here. Patriot Take said Trump attending Easter church service just like he said he would. Okay, a lot from Donald J. Trump. It's going to be a short one too today, guys. So Donald J. Trump posts from his Truth Social, the golden rule of negotiating and success. He who has the gold makes the rules. Thank you. And good night. God, he's funny. Laura Loomis said further evidence folks within the DNI are working against President Trump. The Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, oversees the National Intelligence Council, NIC, a body within the office of the DNI, ODNI. Why would leakers in the NIC try to undermine President Trump's efforts to deport trendy Aragua gang members? Because as I said before, our intel agencies are still flooded with Biden holdovers, and this report is another effort to block President Trump's use of the Alien and Sedition Acts. The NIC senior officials should be fired. Why is there so much resistance from Trump's own cabinet members to fire these traitorous Biden holdovers? Fire all of them. This is embarrassing. Wow. I reckon you should let Laura Loomer dig on everyone who's entering the White House. Okay, Tex-Mex conservative responded, I gather two things from this. You are a fantastic vetter, Laura Loomer, probably the Bay political better out there. There have been so many of these vetting issues, it can't be by chance. There has to be saboteurs around Trump. And I agree. That's why I actually bookmarked this comment from under one of these Laura Loomer posts, because it was a good comment. I think she is a fantastic vetter. If she's right, she's a fantastic vetter. Robbie Starbuck said there is a highly orchestrated campaign afoot to take down Pete Hegseth. I knew that from the first post, or one of the first posts I read. Everyone needs to have his back and support him right now. Remember this. Democrat desperation to get rid of a Trump pick is directly correlated to how effective they are. Best Secretary of Defense we could ask for. Yeah, and what if the Dems have planted these people who said they were, maybe they said they were Republicans, and yeah, I agree with Donald Trump, and then when the time comes, they flip. I mean, it's not like it hasn't happened before. Hey, J1. Hey, Stu. How you going? How you going? I don't know, sounded a bit, Scottish. Okay, Donald J. Trump said following my day one executive order, the Office of Personnel Management will be issuing new civil service regulations for career government employees. Moving forward, career government employees working on policy matters will be classified as scheduled policy career and will be held to the highest standards of conduct and performance. If these government workers refuse to advance the policy interests of the president or are engaging in corrupt behaviour, they should no longer have a job. This is common sense and will allow the federal government to finally be run like a business. We must root out corruption and implement accountability in our federal workforce. Yep, do your job, do it well, or off you go. So easy. Jeez. I don't know. I've worked for the Australian government in taxation and the RTA, and honestly, they could clean it right up, mate. Seriously. There's a lot of people in there doing nothing. As little as possible. So little that shouldn't even be a job. How you going, Adama? Good to see ya. Okay. Donald J. Trump posts from his Truth Social. The world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but rather by those who watch them without doing anything to stop them. Another good quote. Exactly. Alex Jones said we only have 2 justices on the Supreme Court willing to deport foreign terrorists without individual court hearings for millions of Biden-era invaders. The court is trying to give the Trump administration an impossible job. We are witnessing the attempted establishment of a judicial dictatorship in America. And, mate, what a disappointment. No. Oh, no, he is willing. I was going to say, no, don't be one of the ones. No. I like this man. These are the only 2 that are willing to deport. The rest of them aren't. You traitors. What are you doing? Well, thank God, honestly. Donald J. Trump again. This is Donald J. Trump. We are together going to make America bigger, better, stronger, wealthier, and more religious than it's ever been before. Donald J. Trump, President of the United States of America. Go Trump. Rapid Response 47. Since our announcement of Liberation Day, many world leaders, I read that yesterday. I think I'm at the end, guys. Let's have a quick look at the Gateway Pundit to see what they've got to say. Is it updated? No, it is now. Breaking. 3rd would-be Trump assassin plotted with Telegram account linked to Ukrainian cell number. We've identified the account, an individual. It's registered to... Who's Zelensky? Or, one of the CIA over there. I don't know. Which one? CIA, FBI, I don't know. Which one you reckon? A newly unsealed FBI affidavit reveals that a 17-year-old Wisconsin native, Nikita Kassup, who murdered his parents, stole $14,000 in cash, and plotted to assassinate President Trump using militarized drone, was communicating via Telegram with an overseas phone number registered to Vodafone, Ukraine, one of the country's largest mobile carriers. Wow. And this is obviously the court document. Okay. Case document, sorry. Holy shit. The Telegram username, Poma Bikta, whatever, written in Ukrainian Cyrillic, translates to Roman Viktorovich, the shadowy figure linked to a foreign cell guiding would-be Trump assassin. How we confirmed it was Ukrainian, not Russian. 1 country code +380. The +380 prefix is the internationally recognised country code for Ukraine, confirming the phone number is Ukrainian in origin. The mobile prefix 050 specifically identifies the number as belonging to Vodafone Ukraine, one of the country's leading mobile operators. Wow. Okay, I don't need to know all that. Ukrainian also includes unique letters. Okay, I don't need to know that. Is that it? No? Okay, let's keep going. These are just some of the chilling communications uncovered between 17-year-old would-be assassin Nikita Kassup and multiple Telegram accounts, including at least 2 that communicated in Ukrainian Cyrillic. As part of his diabolical plot, Kassup brutally murdered his mother and a stepfather to steal $14,000 in cash, money he intended to use to acquire a customised militarised drone capable of dropping and detonating an explosive device in an attempt to assassinate President Donald Trump. He actively coordinated an escape plan to Ukraine, even asking one handler if he could still live a normal life there, even if the world found out what he'd done. One of the Telegram accounts instructed Kassup on how to hide the bodies of his parents, advising him to drag them into the basement to avoid detection. According to the FBI affidavit, he was also given specific instructions on how to swap out the license plates of his stepfather's vehicle to evade law enforcement, along with a carefully mapped escape route that took him from southwestern Wyoming through Kansas to a waypoint near Pumpkin Center, Oklahoma, a remote location likely chosen to avoid detection, before continuing to California, where he planned to await extraction to Ukraine. Oh, my God. These people are going to leave you for dead, mate. You know that, don't you? You're getting taken for a ride, young man. Holy shit. 200 wheels is almost certainly terrorist code for explosive materials, which I believe they've... Yeah, how much will 200 wheels cost for this bike? Like you need 200 wheels for a bike, all right? In the first Trump assassination attempt, Thomas Matthew Crooks, the 20-year-old from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, who opened fire on President Donald Trump at a rally in Butler County, was found to have been communicating via encrypted platforms with accounts tied to servers overseas. While the FBI has confirmed the existence of these encrypted communications and their foreign server locations, it has for some reason not disclosed the names of the specific platforms Crooks used or the individuals he communicated with. And who can forget Ryan Wesley Routh, a second would-be Trump assassination, who, by the way, Crooks and Routh were both in the Black Rock commercial, who showed up at Trump National Golf Club in West Palm Beach armed with a SKS-style semi-automatic rifle lying in wait to ambush the former president, only to later be identified in a video produced and published by X account, Save MRPL, a narrative-spinning propaganda arm of Ukraine's Azov Battalion. These are Nazis. You're calling us right-wing Nazis, us the right-wingers Nazis? Nah, man. The video featuring Ryan Wesley Routh in Ukraine, published by the X account Save MRPL, was produced by this person here, or this company, I don't even know, whose name appears in Cyrillic Ukrainian script. He also administers the connected YouTube channel under the handle Alexander Alforov. Shit. Further linking the production to Azov Battalion's media operation. By the way, the FBI affidavit confirms that Nikita Kassett was actively consuming and distributing propaganda tied to two international neo-Nazi groups, the Order of Nine Angels, 09A, and the Misanthropic Division, MD, both known for promoting violent accelerationist ideology. The Misanthropic Division, in particular, has maintained an active presence in Ukraine and has been reported to have fought alongside the Azov Battalion during the Donbass conflict. Wow. So it was a Vodafone phone, not Vodafone the company? Okay, anyway. James Comer's bold move throws Democrat lawmakers political stunt to visit wife beater and MS-13 gang member. Oh, I think they're backing off now, aren't they? I thought they were backing off. I heard. You love to see it. 4 House Democrats travel to El Salvador to meet the wife beater and MS-13 gang member Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Inspired by Dem Senator Van Hollen, Reps Robert Garcia, Maxwell Frost, Yasmin Ansari and Maxine Dexter travelled to El Salvador on Monday to try and facilitate the release. However, unlike these 4 Democrats, Chris Van Hollen's trip was funded by taxpayer money. Van Hollen confirmed on Sunday that hard-working American taxpayers funded his trip to El Salvador so he could meet with an alleged MS-13 gang member currently held at the CECOT prison. Kilmar Abrego Garcia is an El Salvadorian national who is illegally residing in Maryland. In 2019, an immigration judge ordered Abrego Garcia, an alleged member of the dangerous MS-13 gang, removed from the US. Additionally, an immigration appellate court also upheld the immigration judge's decision. He was given due process. But Democrat lawmakers are trying to kidnap Abrego Garcia and smuggle him across the US border. Isn't that a crime? Oh my God. Hey Del, how you going? Conchega, how you going? Stu. Good to see you guys. If I've missed anyone, I'll catch you in a minute. Oh, Mr. Edwin. How you going, Mr. Edwin? Okay. So they're trying... I thought that was a crime, honestly. On Monday, the 4 Dems were denied a visit with Abrego Garcia because their trip was not an official capacity. James Comer's decision to deny Democrat Rep Frost's request for a CODEL threw their political stunt into chaos. Rep Frost whined about being denied access. We got word at the embassy that our request has been denied by the government. Here locally, because they say we're not in official capacity, Frost said before attacking Comer. Congresswoman Maxine Dexter said she's not coming back to the US until Abrego Garcia is released. Well, stay there. Who cares? Oh, my God. Oversight Chairman James Comer previously informed the Democrat lawmakers that they can pay their own way if they want to meet with foreign illegal alien gang member. It's absurd that you both displayed active hostility for over 2 years toward the committee's oversight of the Biden border crisis and the consequences of millions of illegal aliens entering the country, yet now you're seeking travel at committee expense to meet with foreign gang members, Comer wrote in the letter. You may be pleased to know that a Democrat Senator, Chris Van Hollen, was photographed just yesterday in El Salvador enjoying margaritas garnished with cherry slices with the foreign gang member your letter references. If you also wish to meet with him, you can spend your own money, but I will not approve a single dime of taxpayer funds for use on the excursion you've requested. Well done. Don't give it to him. I'm pretty sure it's illegal. 41-year-old wannabe G.I. Jane sues US Navy after failing to become first female SEAL. Love, you're not qualified. Sorry, but merit first, mate. Seriously? What a nut job. A 41-year-old Long Island attorney is taking the US Navy to federal court after claiming recruiters deliberately dragged their feet on her application to become the first female Navy SEAL until it was too late. Amanda S. Reynolds, a self-described Viking-like warrior, self-described, okay? She describes herself this way, has filed an age discrimination lawsuit against the Navy accusing officials of stalling her application process long enough for her to miss the service's age cutoff. Okay, even if she got in at the under the ages cutoff, right? Within how long would she then be over? I don't think she's fit enough anyway. Just me personally, you know. Okay, according to the New York Post, I could have gone to officer candidate school in February, Reynolds told the Post, but they delayed my application without reason or cause, and they told me I was too old. You probably are, love. Reynolds claims she was misled at every turn, with recruiters assuring her that age waivers were always obtainable. Yet despite what she describes as years of diligent preparation and physical training, including long-distance running, swimming and scuba certification, her file was never submitted in time. Has she done any army training, naval training? The opportunity was kind of taken away from me. I would like that to be reinstated, Reynolds said. You're too old, love. Get over it. I would just like the outcome to be determined by the merits instead of by some technicality. According to NavySeals.com, applicants must be from 17 to 28 years old. Waivers for men ages 29 and 30 are available for highly qualified candidates. 30? Wow, I thought she was like 50. Okay. Men with prior enlisted service as SEALs who are seeking to become SEAL officers can request waivers to age 33. The Woodbury, New York resident has previously worked for over a decade in litigation law before deciding to pivot to military service in 2018. After being sworn into the Navy in Brooklyn, Reynolds claims she was never assigned to a unit, never deployed and never processed into active duty status. The Navy, meanwhile, disputes the timeline, stating it has no record of service for Reynolds and that her enlistment paperwork was first filed in 2019. After a brief move to Utah, Reynolds says she revived her efforts in 2020, only to be sidelined by a DUI arrest, a misdemeanor charge that was later dismissed in 2023. Still, she pressed on, eventually entering the Navy SEAL Warrior Challenge program in 2023 with the hope of breaking the gender barrier in the Elite Special Forces unit. But instead of advancing her candidacy, recruiters allegedly pushed her towards the Judge Advocate General, JAG Corps, citing her legal background. I wound up bringing a lawsuit in federal court in New York to pursue an age discrimination claim against the Navy in order to have my opportunity reinstated. So that's where I'm at now. In the stage of the process, and hopefully, with help of the courts and judicial intervention, I'll be able to go pursue that route as a career, notwithstanding my age. Well, you realise that the DEI you got that put you off for a few years there is your own fault. Yeah. Anyway, maybe you're just not good enough, love. The cutoff's 30. I thought she was like 50. I'm sorry. Okay. Chev. Yeah, you have to be really strong as a man to do it. I don't know. I mean, she might be strong enough, but like, maybe not. Maybe that's why they didn't knock her back a bit, you know? Okay, developing. Police surround Trump Tower after emotionally disturbed man tries to access the roof. Another one. Law enforcement surrounded the entrance at Trump Tower in New York on Monday evening after an emotionally disturbed man tried to access the roof. Man attempts to climb Trump Tower. Situation still active. Building swarmed by police. An emotionally disturbed man reportedly made it to the 5th floor of Trump Tower before law enforcement arrived. According to local reporters, hostage negotiators took over as Trump Tower was cleared out. Man inside Trump Tower now being called emotionally disturbed, I'd say. This isn't the first time a man has tried to access the roof at Trump Tower, New York. In August 2016, a 19-year-old man climbed Trump Tower using suction cups. In 2017, the climber Stephen Regatta pleaded guilty to reckless endangerment and disorderly conduct. Wow. Darwin Awards, mate. Seriously. Okay, what else have we got? Peace is the prize. Trump hopes Russia and Ukraine will make a deal this week to end the war. Putin, for the first time, proposes bilateral talks with Kiev is open to ceasefires. Disgraced former Democrat Senator Bob Mendez wife convicted in bribery and corruption case. Wife? Wow. Anywho, I don't know. I'm now I don't know anymore whether these are men or women, mate. Seriously. Nadine Mendez, wife of disgraced former Senator Bob Mendez, was found guilty on all 15 federal counts in a sweeping bribery and corruption case. I wonder if I'm getting confused as to whether these people are men or women. Maybe they're getting plastic surgery or something that's throwing me off, but I keep thinking like these women look very much like men. I don't know. Okay. The charges against Nadine Mendez included bribery, wire fraud, obstruction of justice, and acting as a foreign agent. Ooh, you're in trouble, love. Moments ago, a unanimous jury convicted Nadine Mendez for her critical role in the corruption and foreign influence scheme involving her husband, convicted former Senator Robert Mendez. Nadine Mendez and Senator Mendez were partners in crime, said acting United States Attorney Matthew Podolsky. Prosecutors detailed how she and her husband accepted lavish bribes, cash gold bars and a luxury Mercedes-Benz convertible from 3 New Jersey businessmen in exchange for political favours. These favours notably benefited foreign governments, including Egypt and Qatar, raising serious national security concerns. Over the span of 5 years, Nadine Mendez agreed to accepted all sorts of bribes, including gold bars, cash, Mercedes-Benz convertible, and a no-show job, all in exchange for the senator's corrupt official acts, said Podolsky. Together, Nadine Mendez and the senator placed their own interest and greed ahead of the interests of the citizens, and the senator was elected. To serve. Today's verdict sends a clear message that the power of government officials may not be put up for sale, and that all those who facilitate corruption will be held accountable for their actions. Oh, this is an introduction. Hey, higher ups, this is coming for you. New York Post reported prosecutors said she acted as the go-between connecting Bob with businessmen who funneled bribes to them from the Egyptian and Qatari governments. In exchange, the pilloried Pole leveraged his powerful post as head of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee to lobby colleagues to unfreeze $300 million in Egyptian military aid that had been held up due to human rights concerns and dole out other valuable favours, jurors heard. What else can the love of my life do for you, Nadine told one Egyptian official while sitting alongside her cigar-puffing hubby during a May 2019 dinner at Morton's Steakhouse, evidence revealed. Former Garden State insurance broker, Jose Uribe, testified that he bribed Nadine with a new Mercedes-Benz C300 in exchange for her husband's help shutting down a criminal probe. This is how our governments work, right? Blackmail. Congratulations, mon amour de la vie. Did I get that right? We are the proud owners of a 2019 Mercedes, Nadine texted her husband after receiving the first payment toward the new car, using the French phrase for love of my life. And I can't even say it. FBI agents who raided the couple's Englewood Hills home found the luxury car parked in their garage and more than $150,000 in gold bars stored inside Nadine's safe. Jurors saw more than $400,000 in cash stuffed into envelopes and strewn across the home, including inside the former senator's official government windbreaker. The conviction allows that of Bob Mendez, who was found guilty last year on 16 counts, including acting as a foreign agent, the first sitting US senator to be convicted of such a charge. There's many of them. He was sentenced to 11 years in prison and is scheduled to begin his sentence in June. Mendez sobbed as he begged SDNY judge Sidney Stein to have mercy on him. In September, Senator Bob Mendez, a senior US senator from New Jersey and the former chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and his wife Nadine Mendez were indicted on bribery and corruption charges. In October, Bob Mendez was charged with acting as a foreign agent in a superseding indictment. Bob Mendez and his wife are under investigation for their involvement in a bribery scheme from 2018 to 2022. The couple, who began dating in February 2018 and married in October 2020, are alleged to have accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes. The bribes came from Wael Hanna, an Egyptian native with connections to Egyptian officials, Fred Davies, a New Jersey real estate developer and longtime donor to Senator Mendez, and Jose Uribe, involved in the New Jersey insurance and trucking business. The range of bribes included gold, cash, a luxury convertible, and significant payment towards Nadine Mendez's home mortgage. In June 2022, a significant development occurred when the FBI executive executed a raid at the Mendez residence in Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey. This operation uncovered many elements of the bribery scheme. According to the DOJ, over $480,000 in cash, much of it concealed in envelopes and hidden in various parts of the house, including clothing and closets, was discovered. A safe in the house contained additional cash and valuables. Over $70,000 in cash was found in Nadine Mendez's safe deposit box during a separate search. Some of the envelopes recovered bore the fingerprints and or DNA of Fred Davies or his driver, further linking them to the scheme. Other envelopes with Senator Mendez's name were found in jackets hanging in his closet. One of the most significant discoveries was over $100,000 worth of gold bars located within the home. According to reports, 13 gold bars were found. 1 kilo bars. According to a report by NBC News, the serial numbers on the gold bars correspond with those reported stolen from Fred Davies during an armed robbery in Edgewater, New Jersey, nearly a decade ago. For instance, one particular gold bar produced by Swiss Bank Corporation and carrying the serial number 590005 was identified among the items seized from Mendez's home during this year's FBI raid. The same gold bar had been listed as stolen and later returned to Davies in 2013. The evidence logs from the earlier incident bearing Davies' signature and initials meticulously catalogued each gold bar, including their individual serial numbers, thereby linking them to the current investigation. So there you go. That's a warning for the ones starting at the bottom higher up. American taxpayers will no longer be forced to serve as collateral. Breaking Education Department blows a hole in Biden's student loan bailout program. Wow. Education Secretary Linda Why do I always have trouble saying this name? McMahon said the Biden administration misled borrowers when it cancelled student loans. Biden reportedly cancelled $136.6 billion in student loans and forced average wage earners to pay for other people's student loans. American taxpayers will no longer be forced to serve as collateral for irresponsible student loan policies. Secretary of Education Linda wrote in an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal on Monday. The Department of Education will begin collecting payments on defaulted student loans on May the 5th. The new policy will impact an estimated 5 million borrowers who have not made any monthly payments since March 2020. Federal student loan payments were halted in March 2020 because of COVID. Payments were set to resume in October 2023, but millions of borrowers are still in default. The Biden admin misled borrowers. The executive branch does not have the constitutional authority to wipe debt away, nor do the loan balances simply disappear. Hundreds of billions have already been transferred to taxpayers. Going forward, the Department of Education, in conjunction with the Department of Treasury, will shepherd the student loan program responsibly and according to the law, which means helping borrowers return to repayment, both for the sake of their own financial health and our nation's economic outlook, she said. Biden used a series of workarounds to circumvent the Supreme Court's decision to strike down his student loan bailout program. Joe Biden unilaterally announced a massive forgiveness of student loans in August 2022 to buy the Gen Z millennial vote in the 2022 midterms. Biden cancelled over $400 billion in student loans, which turned out to be up to $10,000 in student debt for borrowers who earn $125,000 a year or less, and up to $20,000 for recipients of Pell Grants. The Supreme Court ruled 6-3 against Joe Biden's student loan relief program, so the Department of Education rolled out a workaround forbearance program to cancel $39 billion in student loans by counting non-payments as payments for a period of time. Only it wasn't your typical forbearance program. Borrowers didn't have to pay back missed payments or make up the difference of reduced payments. No interest was accrued on any of the missed payments. In his last year in office, Biden announced a flurry of student loan cancellation programs. In January 2024, Biden unilaterally cancelled another $5 billion in student loan debt for 74,000 borrowers and announced he would cancel student loans for borrowers who took out less than $12,000 and have been in repayment for 10 years. Well, good on them. No longer. They're going to make them pay it back. Okay, former White House advisor Trump to release $150 trillion endowment. Interesting story. Look at this map, okay? On the surface it seems ordinary, but what if I told you it's worth $150 trillion? Yes, $100 trillion with a T. What makes this map so special? As you'll see, it points the way to a 15-figure fortune held by the federal government. We were shown on this map by former presidential advisor Jim Rickards, one of the most politically connected men in America. Rickards has spent his 50-year career in the innermost circles of the US government and banking. And he believes Trump could soon release this frozen asset to the public. He says when it happens, it could alter the course of America forever. Jim calls this stash of frozen assets our national endowment. For good reason. If you divide this figure by the number of households in America, each family would receive $1.1 million. But something even more spectacular is bound to happen, and those who know what to expect could make a potential fortune. What is this? Not an ad for something, is it? What is it? Okay, I've got to listen to a video, do I? I'll come back to that. I'll go and listen to it myself first, and yeah, come back. I don't know, but you know what's coming, don't you? Tim Wall's daughter compares violent MS-13 gang members to Jesus Christ. claims Trump would have deported him. You've got to be kidding me, don't you? SoCal mayor says he wants to eliminate homelessness by giving them all the fentanyl they want. Pardon? He wants them to OD, does he? President Trump gives a savage response to a reporter asking if he still has confidence in Pete Hegseth after latest Signal chat leak. Yeah, it's a nothing burger. Endless escalation. Starmer's UK reportedly supporting Germany MERS plans to send Taurus long-range missiles to Ukraine, while Scholz and SPD party reject the idea. This man's insane. Texas Republican commissioner fights for life after grandson's brutal knife attack that claimed a husband's life. Ooh. Construction photos of Obama's library receive harsh reviews. Looks like a prison. Looks bloody awful. Like an eyesore, mate. Developing Delta plane engine bursts into flames at Orlando Airport. Emergency slides deployed. Mate, if I ever have to get on a plane, someone's going to have to sedate me. I'm telling you. What do you do? Like, okay, if you want to go somewhere and you want to travel by plane, you're shit scared of heights and you see all this, right? Do you go to your doctor and get a sedative to take before you get on the plane, or what? Like, how do you go about that shit? I want to know. Hilarious. President Trump trolls Joe Biden for being manhandled by the Easter Bunny. Oh, dear. Photoshop failed. Joe Biden shares odd image with an Easter message. Oh, dear. No longer in the White House celebrating the trans agenda than the holy holiday of Easter, Joe Biden has social media buzzing with the odd family photo he shared on Sunday. Biden posted, "We wish everyone celebrating today a peaceful and joyful Easter," and shared a family photo showing him in the background. The image left many wondering if Sleepy Joe was photoshopped into the picture. One user noted the odd hand placement, seemingly of Joe's hand on one family member's shoulder. This one over here. Okay. Another user dug deeper into technical issues with the image. Here's why this Easter photo looks photoshopped. 1, Biden's lighting doesn't match. His face and suit are too flat, no deep shadows like the rest of the group. Number 2, there's a halo effect around his head and shoulders, especially on the left side. His head looks too big. Oh, dear. Okay, I mean, this is obviously Photoshop, right? Is he supposed to be standing, crouching down? This doesn't even look like a plausible physical position. Also conspicuously missing from the family photo is Hunter Biden, who one ex-user helpfully photoshopped in. Here, apparently. There he is. Oh, my God. Here's Hunter. It's not here's Johnny anymore. It's here's Hunter. Funny shit. Okay, where did I go? How do I get back? Oh, dear. There you go. Oh, they showed us anyway. You all forgot to Photoshop Hunter into the picture, so I fixed it for you. I'm sorry. Hilarious. Hang on a sec, guys. Okay. We know that. Progressive German bishop George Batzing, known for his extreme globalist position, attacks Trump policies in Easter Vigil sermon. Whoop-de-doo. White House launches a story of America's video, a series ahead of America's 250th birthday. A story of America. Interesting. Series detail American history and commemoration of America's 250th birthday on July the 4th. These initial videos, titled The Story of America, an Introduction, and the shot heard around the world, the battles of Lexington and Concord, offer an educational, this will be good, perspective on historic events, as narrated by professors at Hillsdale College, the renowned conservative Christian university with core curriculum based on the United States Constitution. Oh, this sounds good. Consequently, the White House added new subpages to its official website titled Founding Fathers Video Library and America 250. The Founding Fathers subpage describes in detail 7 of the most illustrious Founding Fathers of the United States. The Video Library page showcases the White House's new educational video series teaching United States history, while also displaying 20 pages worth of video clips that capture the second Trump administration's most historic moments to date. Notably, the America 250 page presents the story of America video series following an announcement of President Trump's full-fledged initiative to celebrate America's most important milestone throughout the coming year. Here come the movies with the truth of history. I hope. Because we know that most history is a lie. Okay, Greenland versus Ukraine. Oh, okay. So Greenland's more strategic than I thought. Okay. That's why Trump wants it, obviously. Understanding Trump's national security priorities. White House says Trump stands strongly behind Hegseth as Democrats call for his ouster over alleged signal. Oh, God, they're trying to get rid of him any way they can, aren't they? Hegseth goes off on fake news hoaxsters over new signal hoax. Yep, there you go. Here are the leading contenders to succeed Pope Francis. Can we get a normal person in there? A normal good person? Can the Pope be like a good person this time? The papal conclave set to convene in the coming weeks will determine the next supreme pontiff to lead $1.39 billion, not dollar, Catholics worldwide. After a papacy marked by progressive shifts and controversial reforms, conservative Catholics are praying for a return to doctrinal clarity and traditional values. Yes, look, I'm Protestant. I'm even hoping for that for the Catholics. Here's a look at the leading contenders to succeed Francis, whose election could either entrench his liberal legacy or restore the Church's timeless orthodoxy, according to Reuters. You've got Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle from the Philippines. Globalist left-wing picks. What? Oh, no. Known in liberal circles as the Asian Francis, Tagle is a progressive frontrunner. He has advocated for softening church teaching on same-sex unions and divorce and was a major proponent for Pope Francis' social justice agenda. If chosen, expect a continued assault on Catholic moral teaching in the favour of the left's political talking points. Cardinal Pietro Parolin, Italy. Parolin is currently the Vatican's Secretary of State for the Papacy, holding the second highest position in the Church. He's also a member of the Council of Cardinals and architect of the Church's controversial appeasement deal with Communist China. Parolin embodies bureaucratic moderation but leans globalist. He recently pushed Europe to rediscover itself, parroting European Union rhetoric. And we've got Cardinal Jean-Marc Aveline, France. A darling of multiculturalists and Francis-style reformers, Aveline has championed immigration and interfaith outreach, particularly to Muslims. His theological teachings mirror the secular French left. He may be ideologically appealing to liberal cardinals, but his inability to speak Italian may prove a fatal flaw in Vatican politics. Cardinal Mario Grech, Malta. Once conservative, now an aggressive reformer. Oh, no. Grech has called for the Church to move beyond nostalgia and embrace LGBTQ acceptance. As Secretary-General of the Synod of Bishops, he helped shape Francis' synodal restructuring, viewed by many conservatives as an effort to democratise and dilute church authority. Cardinal Juan Jose Omila, Spain. Social justice orientated and a vocal advocate for compassionate Catholicism. He downplays the clergy abuse crisis and echoes Francis' rejection of church-centred blame. His policies would likely erode church tradition in favour of political activism. Cardinal Joseph Tobin, USA, an American liberal icon, embraced LGBT. Oh, God, help the bloody Catholics, seriously. Embraced LGBT inclusivity and open immigration, and my side's not much better. I think most of the churches have been infiltrated for some reason. An open immigration, Cardinal Tobin has actively opposed policies he perceives as unjust towards immigrants. He has participated in events supporting illegal immigrants and has publicly criticised mass deportation efforts, and I'll listen to you when you knock down the Vatican Wall. Describing them as inhuman policies that destroy families and communities. His radical activism and weak stance on doctrinal authority render him unfit for conservatives seeking a moral backbone in Rome. Actually, I'll listen to him when they knock down the wall and invite all these immigrants into the Vatican. Cardinal Matteo Zuppi, nicknamed the Italian Bergoglio, Zuppi is immersed in Francis-style populism and progressive diplomacy. He's downplayed church sex abuse scandals in Italy while pushing for interfaith compromise and cultural relativism. Conservatives view him as a walking extension of the current leftist Vatican regime. Oh, thank God, there are some hopeful conservatives and traditionalists. Oh, okay. Cardinal Wim Ijek from the Netherlands, a rare European defender of orthodoxy. Ijek challenged Francis over civil unions and the Eucharist and opposes diluting Catholic teaching to appease Protestant or secular sensitivities. A strong voice for restoring Catholic clarity in a morally confused age. Mate, you go. Cardinal Fridolin Ambongo Besunga, Congo, from the Congo. An African cardinal who rejected Francis' endorsement of blessing for same-sex couples. His firm stand aligns with the rising African bloc that resists secular infiltration. If elected, it would send shockwaves through the liberal Catholic establishment and signal return to spiritual strength over social trendiness. It's good, well done. Cardinal Peter Erdo, Hungary. An ally of traditional Catholic values, Erdo has previously resisted pressure to liberalise the Church's stance on communion for divorced couples and has drawn praise for defending Europe's Christian roots. Viewed as pragmatic and diplomatically competent, he's also fluent in multiple languages and a bridge builder without compromising the truth. Oh, well done, you guys, honestly. Cardinal Raymond Burke, USA. A lion of Catholic orthodoxy, Burke has long challenged Francis' ambiguity on marriage, sin and sexuality. Francis retaliated by stripping him of his Vatican housing and salary. Proof of Burke's threat to the left. His election would be nothing short of conservative uprising within the church. Cardinal Peter Turkson, Ghana. A media-savvy African prelate with experience in Vatican justice offices, but whose public flirtation with climate change alarmism has raised eyebrows. Though once seen as a rising conservative star, he remains a wild card, possibly trying to appeal to all sides. Okay, we don't really want that. Not in the church, you don't. And I agree about the Protestants have bent over to the left, mate. Like, what the freaking? I'm not a Protestant anymore. I don't even know what I'm politically. I'm religiously homeless. Frank Pavone, initial thoughts on the passing of Pope Francis. Pope Francis dies the day after Christians celebrate the resurrection. I thought that was quite interesting too, the timing. And I think that'll be it for today, guys. Sounds good. Been an hour and 4 minutes. We got Sherry and we got Lucette, and then Lucette asked, "Where is everyone?" Now, I scheduled this live really late this morning, so I didn't expect many people on here. Okay, and Lucette has put the footage in there. It's a YouTube video, so I'm going to have to, like, wait until I finish watching. Sorry, wait until I finish streaming. Then come back and click on that link and have a look. Sherry said, you're cutting in and out on my end, but it could be me. I'll go out and come back in. Oh. Hope you can hear me all right, guys. Raven and Shannon joined us. And Shannon said, war is good for covering things up and making money for the military-industrial complex. Yes. Lucette said, strange that Bitar is still working for the government. He should be kicked out. Yep. I agree. J1 and Deb J joined us. And who else we got? Did I say Raven? Virginia, how you going? Stu, Pope fell off his perch and Klaus has stepped down. Klaus Schwab. Okay, Adama popped in. J1 said Trump $150 trillion reserve. Anyone catch that? Insane, isn't it? Deb J said, I did hear that, J1. We'd be millionaires. Edwin said, Miss Heaven, blessings. Always have a great telecast, listening and driving. God bless all chat family. Oh, God bless you too, Edwin. God love you. Okay. Adele. How you going, Adele? Blackfriars, Google, Vatican Bank. Calvi hung off 13th Bridge in London. Blackfriars. This is Vatican II, the takeover by Satan. Jean Paul has a last decent one. Evening Crusaders of Truth. Fuck Harry Akbar. Well done, Del. Yeah, if you can give me a thumbs up, guys, that'd be great. It helps me out. I really appreciate it too. So, Kachega said J1 cover for Nasara Jasara. Del said they chemtrailing Xanax and Valium is the only explanation, man. Del said UK video of Gay Starmer and Aladdin going viral. Yes, I think Lucette put the link up in the I've got a twitch in my eye. It's pissing me off. Okay, hang on a sec. Sorry, you got to face me. I've got no makeup on.
So it looks like the CCTV footage that Jim Davidson has been referring to of Keir Starmer and Gaylord Ali kissing. Just want to get it shared.
Where is it?
Here it is.
The CCTV footage is finally dropped of Keir Starmer kissing Lord Ali.
Okay, let me share it with you. This is apparently it.
I guess all this madness that I suppose.
Hang on, I just want to go back a little bit. It shows you. Do they actually move, or is it just a picture?
I guess all this madness that I.
Okay, just let me. Sorry, mate. This is not today's Satan. This guy's called. Good name, mate. Not today, Satan. And that was it. It's a picture. Ooh, you wouldn't want to be kissing him after he did that. Ooh. Anyway. There you go. That's the picture. Interesting. Oops, no, don't do that. Okay. I'm going to sneeze too. Oh. Am I going to sneeze? Yes, I think I am. Ready? Oh, it's right up in my nose. I got a tickle right up in there. No, I'm not going to sneeze now. Okay. Lisette said, hi, Del, scroll up. I'll put it in a link in here. Del said, Stu and Debs, tips hat, hello, warrior tribe. Del said, Lisette, top form, pip, pip, tally-hoo, and tickety fucking boo, bravo, whistles. Del said, Deb J, tips hat, ma'am. Hope you're having a Christian pleasant Easter. I think he was joking, Lucette, like it's a... yeah, it was piss take at Toff's vocabulary. Fucking ripper and blinder and well done, bravo. He wasn't having a go at you, Lucette, I promise. Shannon said, Azov Battalion are the actual for real Nazis who run the deep state in Ukraine. Yes, exactly. Kai said, much love, everyone. Been lurking. Day started at 2:45 a.m. Shitty day. Yeah. Oh, Kai. Prayers for Kai. Prayers for Timmy. And who else was in? Anyone else who needs prayers, just pray for everyone. I think that just, Stu said, women don't have the upper body strength to become SEALs or clearance divers. Yes. Well, I think that too. Did she do some type of test and then they just went and put her aside? I don't know. Okay, Lucette says, Stu, you're right. You can't argue with anatomy. Yeah. Kai said, even a strong man that can't take at least 10 other trained men barehanded cannot be a SEAL. Exactly. I don't think there hasn't been a woman Navy SEAL, has there? That has to be the top of the top and the top of the men. So face it, women. Or that woman anyway. Conchega said if it's trying to emulate Demi Moore's role, she needs to become male as Demi Moore was born a male. Sorry, guys and chicks. You reckon? Conchega? Look, nothing would surprise me anymore. Stu said we have a woman diving supervisor officer on our dive course, but she had different point requirements so she could get out of the 16 chin-ups required as far as I recall. Yep, no, they got to pass everything a man has to do to get into the Navy SEALs. A woman should have to pass that as well. No giving breaks for anything. No. Merit, mate, merit. Merit over bullshit. Kai said it wasn't an age restriction, it was a make the cut restriction. That's what I think it was. Honest to God, I think she did not make the cut and she's fuming. Lucette said, so you have to be a super strong even for a man. Exactly. Stu said in different changing rooms, much to all our displeasure. Kai said, strong and steel, tougher than nails and meaner than a wolverine. Oh, there's a lady on YouTube and she is doing what's it called? This lady here. Well, feminists, here's your chance. Anything men can do, we can do better. Ha 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 ha. Ready?
Anything men can do, we can do better.
Can I turn the volume down? Oh. Really, ladies? Anything men can do, we can do better? You really think so? You got to watch this lady here. What's her name? Bernadine Bluntly. Right? And you try and tell me that ladies can do anything men can do. Fucking Jesus Christ. No, sorry. She's really good though. Okay? So there's that. Sorry, I was what's this? Wow. Okay. Yeah, so women cannot do everything men can do. I'm sorry. You might have the 1 in a million, I don't know, but no. Okay, Kai said a wolverine is the size of a medium to small dog. They take out elk and moose. Ooh. Conchega said Lucette, seals and clearance diver need to be superbly fit and have the mental ability to push through the wall. Only the top 1% make the cut. Stu is one of them as he was a bubblehead. Oh, you guys are funny as. Kai said, oh, hey guys, awful mood. So, oh, that's okay, Kai. We'll pray for you, Kai. Conchega said, Stu, those who shower together fight together. Lucette said, Conchega, thanks for the info. Hey, Starchild, how you going? We're being invaded by shapeshifters, Hev. Shannon said, the men are women and the women are men. That's what the Baphomet likes and gets most power. These people are sick and satanic. Yeah, that's why I don't know anymore, Shannon. I don't know. Some of them look like men to me. I don't know. Stu said not over the soap, though. Dell said a man's born man as a woman is born woman. Fact and law at last. Sanity, exactly. Yeah, the UK just made that law. A woman's a woman and a man's a man. Okay? Thought that was common sense, mate, from years ago. Like, since I knew that when I was a kid. How do they not know this? Okay. Kai said it's not the guys you fear when soap is dropped. It's the leftover baby batter everywhere you're standing in. I didn't even realise what you were talking about until I finished reading it, Kai. Oh, no. Kai said the soap is gone upon floor contact. Del said I identify with B. Smith. Shannon said the punishment for reason is for reason or treason. Did you mean treason? Del said Lucette, usually I say Paddy, Main, SAS or Mr. In Between Ray. I don't answer questions. What a guy and show. Kacheka said Kai on the aircraft carrier and when flying 2-minute showers were all that could be taken. You would have 16 men waiting in turn to use, get wet, step out, soap up, step in, rinse. Wow. Much admiration for all the men out there. They're all stronger than, well, everyone's stronger than me, so. Lucette said, Del, I've never heard of that. Is it on UK TV? Shannon said, hey, Kai. I'm not saying that, Shannon. Just kidding, just trying to brighten your day. You seem so down that he thought it would be the high point if he told you to get effed. But that's Aussie humour, okay, so don't take an offence to it. God love you. My stomach's growling and I ate already. What the hell? Kai said high security showers like high security prison. Del said Barry Seal, Pablo's pilot, rat had GW Bush number in pocket. Yeah, and wasn't Barry Seal flying like coke into like Arkansas when Bill Clinton was the governor, I think? Yeah, and then the boys on the track from that. You hear about them? Yeah, look at the boys on the track because that's connected to this cocaine flying shit. I think they seen the wrong thing they shouldn't have seen. Kai said Shannon is correct. Shannon said Kai's a legend. He is. Stu said Conchega, yep, I recall the lineup butt naked with towels draped over one shoulder. Oh, God love. Poor Timmy. Are you in hospital? What? Timmy, are you in hospital? Holy shit. Oh, Timmy. Oh, God love you. Timmy's in hospital, guys. Prayers for Timmy as well. Big prayers, guys. Oh, wow. Just overnight for observation. Oh, God love you. Oh, you poor thing. So when the doctor becomes the patient. Oh, God love you. Okay, prayers for Timmy and Kai. And who else was it? There was someone else. It's just everyone, okay? But mainly like Timmy and Kai and I'm sure there was someone else and I've forgotten. Oh, no. Okay. Oh, God love him. Stu said, Conchega, yep, I recall the lineup butt naked with towels draped over shoulders. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of women would want to really, do that, with the men. Or some might. Oh, shit, I don't know. Del said, Lucette, SAS Rogue Heroes on BBC, but Mr. In Between on Fire Stick. I think they maybe even Amazon now. I hope you're all right, Timmy. God love ya. Shannon said, some say his tears flow forth as rust. Del said, Lucettes second show, a naughty one. All the best actors, superb, man. Kai said, I don't cry anymore. I barely feel now, to be honest. Oh, God love you, Kai. Conchega said, Stu and standing in our getters. Lucette said, Del, I don't watch any kind of TV nowadays. Sick of the propaganda. Kai said, Tony is both creeped out and attracted by it. Oh. Stu said, Jesus, shoes. Del said, Lucette, me neither. 12 years against Agenda 21. Read box sets, non-woke, and still good, and rest documentaries. Check source again and again, make conclusions. Yep. Kai said, the dogs are confused, sometimes afraid for no reason, though. My abusive mother is terrified to be around me alone, and I don't mind that. It's probably healthier. Well, yeah, if she's abusive, it might be, Kai. Del said, Aussie's Mr. In-Between, best since Underbelly. Hell yeah. Susie said, hi, everyone. He has risen, as he said. Lucette said, Del, that's what I do now, too. I read, watch DVDs, bought second-hand, and listen to music. I don't get bored. Kacherka said, the grey account holds... I can't even read how many zeros is that? Just add the correct digits. That is just one account for Nasara Jasara. That's a lot, Conchega. Susie said, hi, Kai, lovely to see you. Big hugs. How you going, Susie? Stu said, hey, Susie, shows you can't keep a good man down. Shannon said, remember when Pelosi called MS-13 members angels? Oh, my God. Of course she did. Del said, Lucette, me too, have not watched mainstream since 2012, all propaganda owned by the same elite with all the money, 90% of both. Susie said, big hugs and all good to meet the newbies. And George, how you going? I didn't see you in there, God love you. Kai said, Shannon, go look up Robbie Rocket's most racist song ever made. It doesn't make me laugh, but the Dems still do. Susie said, what did you all have for Easter dinner? I don't know. What did I have? Lamb chops and mint sauce. That's what I had for Easter dinner. Del said Hunter was tied up by a cabana boy at the time. At the time the photo was taken, he was tied up by a cabana boy. Kai said ham sandwich. Susie said nice choice, Kai. George said it was nice, Susie. It was my mum's birthday yesterday. How was your Easter, Susie? Stu said chicken Alfredo. Don't let Hev's hens know. I eat chicken all the time. Del said, damn, meddling Yankees, rebel, yell, R.I.P. Bobby Lee. Kai said, be right back, guys. Susie said, oh, George, I'm making it now. Roast potatoes, chicken. Susie said, strawberry rhubarb pie, veggies, the whole bit. Del said, Hitler's birthday was yesterday too. I dressed as a Rommel and Panzer cake. Was it your birthday yesterday, Del? Happy birthday. Whoever had the birthday with Hitler's birthday, happy birthday. I think it was you, Del. Lucette said, I didn't get any chocolate eggs this Easter. I'm craving milk chocolate right now. I'm trying to stop eating chocolate. I am trying to stop my chocolate. Haven't had any for a few days now. Cutting it all out. Sherry said, strawberry rhubarb pie is my favourite. Susie, sounds yummy. Del said, white smoke means crack and black means... Oh, black means heroin, the smoke thing. Infiltrators run Vatican. Oh, God love you, Timmy.
Timar28 tipped $10. I had a coughing fit and passed out. Low blood pressure brought on by the coughing. Just a mild case of pneumonia. I picked a bad time to quit smoking cigarettes. My lungs are detoxing while enjoying some RSV.
At the same time, oh my goodness. I didn't know whether you wanted me to read it or not, Timmy. That's why I didn't say too much. So Timmy had a coughing fit, he passed out, low blood pressure brought on by the coughing, just a mild case of pneumonia. Picked a bad time to quit smoking cigarettes. My lungs are detoxing while enjoying some RSV at the same time. Oh, God love you, Timmy. You're a legend, mate. See you in hospital there. Aww. Okay. I hope you get out very soon too. Okay. I didn't turn my volume down. No, okay, cool. Okay. Okay, Lucette said, let's hope Vigano is the new pope. Susie said, I looked at the St. Malachi prophecy today. The next pope is called the Glory of the Olive, and the last one is Petrus Romanus. So the Philippine cardinal is not him, but he is the baddies want. He's what the baddies want. Dell said, George, I only know as so do I, mate. I'm not a Nazi nut, lol. Yep. Stu said Rodney Rood would make a cracking pope. Oh, I don't know if Rodney Rood would probably be progressive, mate, the way he speaks. I don't know. Shannon said, who's expecting rainbow-coloured smoke to come out of that chimney? Lucette said, Shannon, let's hope not. Dell said, woke is dead, mass immigration is invasion. J1 said, the papacy will be like the fig tree Jesus cursed just before turning the tables in the sanctuary. I hope they get a good one. Oh, my stomach is going. Okay, it just jumped, so I'm trying to look back where it was. Okay, I'm around here somewhere. Shannon said, I thought they were angling for Chrislam and that coexist nonsense. I think they are, some of them. Shannon said, it's all incognito Satanism. Susie said, George, I don't think Schickel Grubber was always bad. He was made that way. He's a Rothschild. I bet your mum is lovely. Shannon said, you don't need an intermediary between you and God. He's within you as you're part of him. Sherry said, I'm fine, Susie. I'm enjoying my great-grandbaby. Oh, God love you, Sherry. Hope all is well with you. Stu said, the Hare Krishnas will adopt your Hev. I'm sure they would. I went to a Hare Krishna place once when I was a teenager, and they fed you. This guy who... oh, God. Okay, let's watch me try and explain this, right? This guy who owned a donkey took me to the Hare Krishnas on the donkey. Like I was like 12, 13, right? There was a man who was homeless and he used to own all these horses, right? And he used to live in the paddock with his horses in Parramatta in Sydney, okay? And one day he got a donkey. And so he said, you know, we all used to ride his horses, you know, around the paddock. Anyway, he was taking his donkey to the Hare Krishnas to get a meal. Don't ask me why. I have no idea. Anyway, I went for a ride on the donkey to the Hare Krishnas and had a meal. Very strange. Anyway, work that one out. Okay. Lucette said, Hare Krishnas. Susie said, hi, Hev, maybe you're a secular Christian, finding it more comfortable to not align with a specific church. You love God, but worshipping and reading your Bible on your own. Yes, I do. Yep, Susie, that's me. Yep. J1 said, Susie, that sounds like me. Conchega said, reports are that Zelensky died on Saturday but replaced with his body double, more coming out later. Stu said, Susie, that's not such a bad thing, you know. Sherry said, I do not belong to a specific church or doctrine. I don't even go to church, but I feel I have a strong relationship with God. Kai said, Zelensky. Lucette said, Yowie, where did you hear that? I hope it's true. Kai said, daytime drama star, literally. Yeah, he is. Conchega said, King James Version Bible was written by Freemasons with their interpretations and what scriptures they wanted included. Susie said, Sherry, there's a lot going on. Many people I know are going through health crises and are sick and scared, but I pray, as I always do, for giving them thanks for blessings I have, never a dull moment. Stu said, Sherry is a small pathway we travel. It's a small pathway we travel, indeed. Shannon said, as a child, Jeffrey Dahmer was the sexual plaything of the elites such as Jimmy Savile, etc. Now he's controlled by them, put into position of Prime Minister. That wouldn't surprise me either. Kai said, version left out the part where Jesus is against God, hence he's trying to sell sevens. We have the same thing in us. He did in him, no one caught on. The kingdom of heaven is within you. Lucette said, I know, Dell, I was only joking because I was bragging about being a moderator, lol. Kai said, that phrase made it in. Susie said, hi, J1, I'm going to call you J1. The colon's too much to ask of me. Like the colon, the 2 dots, you know. J1 said, Susie, no worries, mate. Kachega said, Stu, by all accounts, we had a clinger on the carrier. Susie said, everyone in Hollywood or in the public eye is inverted. Just ask Big Mike. Yeah, wouldn't surprise me. Stu said 16 chin-ups for the scuba air divers course, but it's 50 for the clearance divers course. After 8 months of fun and games, one could easily do 50 chin-ups, the CO said. The CO. Lucette said a lot of feminism is based on denial. I saw this as an intelligent woman. I'm going to cough. Now I've lit a cigarette, watch. Every time I turn around, I see Timmy. Oh, God love you, Timmy. My phone doesn't go to sleep for some reason. So it's stuck on the picture of Timmy. Okay. Sorry, I don't know if I'm going to sneeze or not. I think I better start taking some vitamin C here. Okay. Has my face just gone bright red? Lisa said a lot of feminism is based on denial. I say this as an intelligent woman who likes to see women do well in life. But expecting a woman to be as strong as a man is just being in denial. Exactly, Lucette. Exactly. Conchega said, Stu, when at Cerebus and recruit school, we had the first fitness test. One guy in my class did 85 chin-ups as a starting point. Yeah, nah. Wow. Kai said, gotcha, Hev. Stu said, did they have legs, Conchega? J1 said, we used to fell and cut 2,000 sleepers a fortnight, just 3 teenagers. Even male teenagers are stronger than most women. You realise that, don't you? Not all women, but most. Certainly, look, anyone's stronger than me. Even half the 3/4 of the women are probably stronger than me right now. I've been sick for too long, mate. I lost all my strength. That's what happens. Don't know where it went. Trying to get it back. Trying to do aerobics and get back to some kind of fitness level. Okay. Dell said, Lucette, bravo, common sense and logic is so refreshing. It is, yeah. And we need more women like that, you know, like understanding that feminism's not the way to go, guys. Not at all. That's how you wreck the family, actually. Kai said, no offence taken. Love you guys. Even going Vulcan. Conchega said, Jonathan Price, who played the Sparrow on GOT, was playing the Pope. Lucette said, Dell, yes, I wish they taught common sense in school. Yeah, Tim S. said, rough day today. I passed out at work. Orthostatic hypotension. I'm in the hospital. Oh, God love you. Kai said, hard to offend a person that doesn't exactly feel also. Conchega said, Stu, he was massive in the upper body strength. Lucette said, yikes, Timmy, hope you feel better soon. Yeah, Kai said, oh, damn, Tim. Dell said, blessings and heal well, Timmy. Susie said, men have bone density and a muscle mass that a woman will never have. Women have other attributes. We were created to complement each other. Only the Lucy baddies could make this an issue. Yep, I agree. We have completely different bone structure and muscle mass. That's why I even admire those Asian men, like who were doing the flyboarding, I think it's called, the flyboarding, because they're strong. They're stronger than me, mate. Everyone's stronger than me. I admire anyone stronger than me, right? Who's a good person, that is. Okay, George said, get better soon, Timmy. Dennis Bears said, blessings and abundance, Timmy and Kai. Oh, how you going, Dennis Bears? Good to see ya. Lucette says, Susie, yes, men and women have different strengths and weaknesses, but equal worth. Yeah. J1 said, his hand, your shoulder, Timmy. Stu said, get us the plastic sandals you wear in the shower to stop foot rot. Oh, okay. We call them thongs here in Australia. I know Americans call something different thongs. We call them G-strings. Yeah, okay. And I thought we used to call them flip-flops in Ireland, I think. Kai said Adam and Eve were originally an androgynous being until separated in God's wrath. Just saying. You reckon, Kai? Stu said chooks are something you get when you're being naughty. Chooks. Okay, Stu, that one's just gone straight over my head. Kai said, did I tell you all about my back? No. Conchega said, Stu, or thongs as they get us to where we need to go. $2 sandals from Singapore. Loved it when the small boats dress of the day, short sandal, optional shirt. Dennis Biss said, made a roast yesterday for my 90-year-old mum. Oh, wow. You haven't cooked a roast in years and don't eat meat, just the veggies? Oh, wow. Kai said, I was lifting something the other day and I did a snatch against it while bent over. There was a heavy thud feeling in... Oh, Kai. You be careful. God love you. Stu said, my cuz was on a patrol boat and he told me of naked watches. J1 said, no chocolate for me, paying bills, lol. Conchega said, stay away from Cadbury as they're putting natural flavours and graphene oxide. Yeah, I'm not eating any more chocolate. I'm trying not to eat anything with, like, I'm trying to just cut the carbs and sugar right down. That's what I'm trying to do. And because I was brought up on it all so much that I'm trying to wean myself off. I'm doing all right, though. I don't know about this little cold thing I seem to be getting, but yeah. It's been cold here, guys. Kai said, now it's sore but doesn't hurt when standing and walking anymore. Wow. Stu said, oh no, get well soon, Dr. Tim. Kai said, like it was fixed somehow. Oh, you might have put your back into place. J1 said, yo, Timmy, yeah, my lungs detoxing from the weed as well. Okay, it's jumped again. Dennis Biss said, oh gosh, Timmy, the coughing is very stressful for the body. Speedy healing for you. Kai said, Tim, follow all precautions. Shannon said, I thought it was lack of air due to exuberance. Bye to the Easter BJ. Shannon said, over. Kai said, hospital beds are hell on a back. Don't get those, not a one. Kacheka said, Stu, up top, not surprised, lost a game of Hunt, the see you in the NT, and had to walk the junior sailors mess wearing just my AGR and bring back 14 coffees, came across the Commodore and just laughed. Stu said, that's because you meant to rest on them, not carry them around. Stu said, yes, Chegga, up top. Dennis Biz said, what's this? Harry Krishnas have great food. They're very generous, they are. They're lovely people. I don't want to join them, though, but yeah. Conchega said, Stu, Fremantle class or the old attack class? Del said, chocolate cake and a roof, then bed. 1:25 a.m. here, got government departments to harass. Banana. All well, keep man. Keep well, man. Love this vibe. All on the same page. Yes, exactly. Stu said Fremantle. Kai said hilarious guys. Almost laughed at that. Del said forget good God, good evil rest semantics and agenda. Nature is God. Conchega said, Stu, remember when the first one came to the fleet, we exercised it off Jarvis Bay and they got the welcoming brown eye from the mess deck? Oh, nice. Kai said the chocolate starfish. Del said, Starmer comment, 110%. Stu said that wouldn't surprise me at all. Conchega, yeah, it doesn't surprise me at all. I wouldn't like to be there, but you know. Conchega said the original Bible mentions the Elohim, meaning plural, not singular. Eloah is the singular interpretation. Del said, need morphine button. Beep. Conchega said, Stu, we had a yank do a strafing run over the flight deck. He received a 60-man brown eye as a wave off. Oh, no. Out to lunch, said, I'm sneezing myself. Hi, all. Yeah, mine stopped. Like, I got it, you know, it was irritated. It was going to come, and then it went away. Kai said, let us make man in our image. Made it in too. Nobody got it till lately. Stu said the girls in Navy are allowed to do the required 20 push-ups on their knees. Guys, not so much. Have no, they should be able to do it on their feet. Or not at all. Okay, what was that one? Oh, I'm getting all sorts of notifications here. Yeah, the girls should have to do, look, if the guys are required to do 20 push-ups on their feet, so should the girls. Conchega said, yep, went over a lot of heads. Del said, women give birth. Fuck that, rather go to war or have back tattooed. There you go. Susie said, what's orthostatic hypotension when it's at home? Susie sounds just like me. What's that when it's at home? Kai said, I have back and stomach tats. Wow. Del said, a 410 leveler, even not a guarantee. I don't even know what you guys are talking about here. Out to lunch, said I have scars and burns, no tats. Kai said that they look shitty because high alcohol consumption at the time. Del said Vietnamese can fight like fucking flip-flops. Really? Wow. Stu said they call it chooks when you get punishment for insubordination or other nefarious behaviours. Oh, okay. Del said Cadbury UK been halal since 19. They snuck it in. Ooh. Susie said, I can't find my gravy boat. Would it be too plebby to put gravy in a Pyrex measuring cup? I would, either that or a mug. But you're better off with the measuring cup because it's at least got the spout on the end. The mug doesn't. So, yeah. Out to lunch said, maybe Adam and Eve didn't know about sex. Conchega said, catch you on the next one, peeps. Much love you too, Yowie. Stu says, fair winds, Yowie. Kai said, Susie, I'd use a coffee mug. Measuring cup has a spout. Kai said the same thing I did. There you go. Susie said, what counts is that I made the bloody gravy, right? Yeah, exactly. Dell's saying, nurse, where's my fentanyl? Kai said, as long as you like the results, exactly. Out to lunch said, Kai, they say not all rocks can be ground on because of it being toxic. Susie said, I love you guys. Thank you. God love you. Out to lunch said, Fraser Roy. Kai said, never really thought about it. Dell said, J was inverted to alphabet until 1700s, ergo no Jesus. Google it. Yes, there was no J, yeah. Wouldn't it have been, yes, Asus or something? Yeah, Asus. Stu said, I bet you all will be scrambling to join the Navy now. Not? Yes, Stu, I don't want to join the Navy. I'm fine. Del said, doing push-ups on your knees is like standing on one leg with a crutch. Yeah, it is. I consider that like not a real push-up, unfortunately. I do them. Like, I've got to do them on my knees, right, at the moment because I'm really weak, right? But I don't consider them real push-ups. Until I can do the ones on my feet, they're not real push-ups. They're just pretending, kind of. Oh, dear. Stu said, their boobs get in the way too, Del. Some do. I'm fine. If I can get doing the push-ups, that is. Nothing else, though. Kai said, nope, I'm too dense, float, unless moving forward I sink upon exhaustion. I've got all these things running in my head. I'm just not saying them, so I might sound a bit, like, weird. Shannon said, autostatic hypertension sounds like something impressive to put in your resume. Anya, Shannon, out to lunch, said, figure the gravy boat is floating around. Susie said, I have 15 minutes to relax before we sit down. Phew. Dennis Biz said, there's a good meme coming out with J.D. Vance visiting the Pope. Who's J.D. Vance going to visit next to give their last sentiments? Oh, wow. And Dell said, may God walk with us all. Good night, Planet Truth. You too. Good night, Dell. God love you. Yep, and with that, I'm going too. And okay, prayers for Timmy and Kai and anyone else who needs the prayers right now, guys. Who do you guys think will be the next high-profile death? Who's sick? No, it could be anyone. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. Hope you have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, guys.